Okay, good morning, class. Now, this is the third part of the endocrine gland, and we'll be discussing about the third endocrine gland, and we will focus on our pancreas. Okay. Now, there is an interesting fact that we will discover while studying this thing, our pancreas, because it is the gland which is not only an endocrine gland but it is also an exocrine gland. It has both, okay, which means that it has exocrine in function as well as endocrine in function. Whenever we talk about pancreas, all right, we have heard this, okay, when we studied digestive system about pancreas, that it releases pancreatic juice via a duct, that is a pancreatic duct. Now since it has a duct, okay, we usually say that, okay, in an endocrine gland is what, they are ductless, they do not have a duct. But we are seeing that pancreas, why we are placing pancreas under the endocrine gland? Why? Because it has ducts. Why we are placing it like that? So there should be a reason for it. So we have to know that this pancreas actually, right, it has a duct and it releases pancreatic juice into the duodenum for the digestion of the food. Okay, but still we are saying that it's an endocrine gland, although it's showing exocrine. But there is an interesting fact, that is this pancreas, okay, within them they show the presence of specialized gland cells known as your islets of Langerhans. Okay, and these specialized cells will release their secretion directly into the bloodstream. Okay, that time there's no duct. That means it's a mixture of the endocrine and an exocrine gland. So it is also known as myxocrine glands. We say myxo, myxocrine, myxocrine gland. So we proceed. Pancreas is both a duct gland as well as a ductless gland. The secretion, okay, as a duct gland is pancreatic juice. I have already discussed about it. And as a ductless gland, it has special group of cells. Okay, we can say that it has a special group of cells called the islet of Langerhans, which is scattered in the entire gland. So these cells are actually scattered, okay, in the entire gland. Okay, whereas it also shows the presence of a duct, that is a pancreatic duct, and it produces pancreatic juice. So it has both, you can say, the duct gland as well as the ductless gland. It is known as both. So therefore we also say it's a mixture of the exocrine and endocrine. That means this pancreas is the only gland, okay, which has both endocrine and exocrine function. So since it has endocrine function, okay, we see specialized cells, okay, over there. Those are gland cells secreting, okay, your certain hormones. So therefore you have to remember that we are placing it under the endocrine gland. Okay, and the specialized group of cells which remains scattered in the pancreas, they are known as our islets of Langerhans. So here we look at the structure of our pancreas. If you see, you can see that it is long, 6 meter long actually. If you look at the proper description, you can see the duct out here, pancreatic duct out here. Okay, and if you look at the location, it is present, okay, in the abdomen, okay, in the loop of duodenum, you can see. Okay, and then inside this pancreas, okay, there are specialized cells which are scattered, okay, and those specialized cells, okay, are of 3 types. That's why they are known as your islets of Langerhans. We don't say just one type of cell is there. So those specialized type of cells are not just single type. There are 3 types and producing 3 different hormones, okay, which are directly released into the bloodstream. Whereas this duct out here, which we see, that is your, okay, pancreatic duct, will just bring about the pancreatic juice, release it into the duodenum. So therefore we can say that it is a mixture of your both endocrine as well as your exocrine gland. So if we talk about the location of pancreas, okay, before that we should know the structure. It is a pear-shaped gland. I hope you know how a pear looks like. So we have just now, I've showed you how it looks like, okay, and 6 inches long, located in the abdomen behind the loop of duodenum. Okay, duodenum is a part of our small intestine. The islet of Langerhans, okay, why we are saying it, because there are group of specialized cells and they are your islet cells. This islet cells will produce 3 hormones. Okay, so they will produce three hormones. That means why we are categorizing them into three groups, because they have three hormones. That means there are three types of cells. So therefore there is the hormone 1, that is your insulin, produced by the beta cells. Okay, there is your glucagon, which is produced by the alpha cells. We have our somatostatin, produced by the delta cells. So we will focus mostly on your insulin and our glucagon. Okay, so that means the function of beta cells and alpha cells. So this alpha cell, beta cell, alpha cells, beta cells, and this delta cell is there. Okay, these are the three types of cells. Okay, and they are called together as your islet of Langerhans. And these three cells will produce three different hormones. Okay, always remember that beta cells produce insulin, alpha cell produce glucagon, and delta cells produce somatostatin. In your syllabus, okay, you have to remember that insulin and glucagon is focused more compared to your somatostatin. Alright, first we will talk about our hormone, that is your insulin, that is produced by the islets of Langerhans of the pancreas, and especially the beta cells. So main thing, when we say insulin, we should know that it is secreted by the beta cells. Okay, and it regulates. What is the function of this hormone actually? Now this hormone is being produced by beta cells, and what is the function? It regulates the rise of sugar level in the blood. So in your blood, okay, there should be sugar present, but at a normal range. It cannot be more than that, or it cannot be less than that. Then if it is more than that, then you suffer from a condition called diabetes. If it is very less, then okay, there is another condition called hypoglycemia. Okay, so how does it regulate the rise of sugar level in the blood? How will it regulate? So it does it in two ways. Number one, it promotes glucose utilization by the body cells. So the body cells are there. Okay, now you all know that these cells, okay, take up glucose. Yes or no? They have to take up the glucose, and therefore then oxidation takes place, cellular oxidation will take place. So what do? Is that okay, they will promote the utilization of glucose by these cells, so that okay, the sugar level is controlled in the blood. There's no excess present of sugar in the blood. Whereas it also stimulates deposition of extra glucose of blood as glycogen into the liver and the muscles. So it is secreted by the beta cells, regulates the rise of sugar level in the blood. It does this in two ways. It promotes glucose utilization by the body cells, and it stimulates the deposition of extra glucose, okay, of the blood as glycogen. That means it brings about the conversion of this extra glucose, whatever is present in the blood, into glycogen. And this glycogen is then stored in liver and the muscles as a reserve. Okay, so whenever the sugar level falls a little bit, or whenever you are running and doing certain exercise, then that time, okay, what will happen? This glucose, which is stored in the form of glycogen, now this glycogen will be now converted into glucose and released into the bloodstream. This happens in a normal human being. Okay, this is how it is going to regulate when insulin is present. But what happens if insulin is produced in less amount, or there is defective, okay, there's defect in the alpha cells, not able to produce insulin? Then you all know that if this insulin is not produced, therefore the sugar level in the blood will rise and it will not be regulated. Okay, that means it cannot be, the cells cannot be stimulated to utilize the glucose properly. Okay, so as a result of which there will be extra or rise in the sugar level of the blood, and that leads to a condition called our diabetes. That means hyposecretion of insulin. When we say, okay, hypo means less production of insulin due to maybe certain defects in the pancreas or anything, okay, which is not being able to produce the insulin in our body. Then its normal function, that is to regulate the rise of sugar level in the blood, that cannot be brought about. So obviously the sugar, there is more sugar in your blood. That means you are suffering from a condition called your diabetes. So symptom of diabetes, everybody knows that. We do not need to mug it up, or we need to learn it by heart, because you know that in India most of the people are suffering from your diabetes. It is a common disorder nowadays. It's observed. You can even find it in children suffering from, not only the old people or something like that. Okay, so there is what is the symptoms? When will you come to know that you have diabetes? So therefore high concentration of sugar in the blood, okay, excreting great deal of urine, and that urine also contains sugar. Okay, feeling thirsty, and you lose weight. So what is the treatment? Okay, so there is no such treatment. You know, oral medicines and all your parents or whoever is suffering from, okay, diabetes, you all know that the people who are suffering, they will take certain medications, okay, which will help in bringing about the regulation of your sugar in the blood. But administering insulin is not the cure. Some of them go for your insulin, okay, treatment, but that is not the cure, because it will just supply the hormone into your body, and that hormone which is not being able to be produced, so it's just supplied and it is just going to bring about the control of the rise of sugar level. But every day it's not possible, it's not a permanent cure, and if a little bit also overdose is given, then there might be fatal effects of it. What happens if there's over secretion of insulin? Now see, it is controlling the rise of sugar. Insulin's main function is to control the rise of sugar level in the blood, means regulation of the sugar level in the blood. It does not let it rise too much. Yes or no? It keeps it at normal range. So if this insulin is in greater quantity, means more insulin is being produced due to certain mutation, then what will happen? Then what will it do? The sugar level will fall. Yes or no? It will stimulate the cells to utilize all the glucose. Yes or no? So rapid utilization of glucose will take place, as a result of which that patient, okay, what will happen? They might also enter into a state of coma. That is, their brain will enter into the state of coma, okay, and that is this condition where the sugar becomes too low in the blood, too low, then it's called hypoglycemia. Similar thing may happen to a diabetic person. Similar thing, that means a person who is suffering from diabetes, where the insulin production is less, okay, that means the insulin production is less. So what will happen if the person suffering from diabetic, if that person is given overdose of insulin, then what will happen? The same condition can be there, because if there's overdose of insulin, means what? Over secretion, too much of insulin, so therefore they will also suffer from this hypoglycemia, and that condition is known as your insulin shock, because it is because of the overdose of insulin, so it's called insulin shock. But out here, over secretion of your insulin will lead to hypoglycemia. Over secretion means insulin is secreted in more quantities, okay, so what will the drop of sugar level in the blood will be there? That means there will be less sugar in the blood. That means hypoglycemia. Glycemia means through sugar. Hypo, less sugar in the blood. Okay, so don't get confused with that. So now we come to our next cell, that is your alpha cells. Okay, therefore this alpha cells will produce your glucagon, this hormone. Okay, now this glucagon, the only one function it has, that it stimulates the breakdown of glucose into glycogen. Okay, raising the sugar in the blood. So main function is, you all know. Now this insulin and glucagon together, they work, okay, in our body. So what is this insulin doing actually? Insulin is regulating, or it gives a check to the rise in sugar level of our body in the blood. Okay, that means it gives a check to the sugar level in our blood. Okay, at the same time, okay, glucagon is going to stimulate the breakdown of stimulate of glycogen. Please check out here. It should be stimulates the breakdown of glycogen into glucose and raising the sugar in the blood. So out here it should be, please make a point, a note, it should be breakdown of glycogen into glucose. So breakdown of glycogen into glucose. Okay, not glucose into glycogen, it's glycogen into glucose. So this glucagon is secreted by the alpha cell, stimulates the breakdown of your glycogen. That means you all know that whatever extra sugar is there, it is what? It is converted into glycogen and stored in the liver. Yes or no? So therefore, whenever there is need in the body, whenever there is a severe exercise or running or any kind of movement, that time this glycogen from the liver and the muscles, okay, they are broken down, okay, into again glucose and released back into the bloodstream, and therefore there is no fall of sugar level, and thus it raises the sugar in the blood. Clear? So this is all about our pancreas, and you have main thing that you have to remember out here is that pancreas is a mixocrine gland, because it has both the endocrine as well as exocrine function. It has a duct, okay, which leads to the secretion or outpouring of the secretion pancreatic juice into the duodenum, and it is a ductless gland, okay, and that is endocrine in function. Yes or no? So therefore there are certain specialized gland cells located in the pancreas which will produce, okay, certain hormones that are directly released into the bloodstream. Okay, and we have discussed that those specialized cells are the islets of Langerhans. There are three types of those islet cells, and that is your alpha, beta and delta cells. If we talk about alpha cells, they produce glucagon, beta cells produce insulin, and delta cells produce somatostatin. Somatostatin has something to do with your growth and all, so we're not going to discuss that, it's not in the syllabus. But the most important thing is the function of your insulin and your glucagon. So always remember that insulin, whenever we say, you should be knowing this, okay? You do not have to mark up, because you all have heard about diabetes, and insulin's main function is to check the rise in sugar level in the blood. So with this we come to an end, and please remember the hypo and hypersecretion of insulin, what is their side effects and what effects it causes. And just glucagon, you have to remember the function of glucagon, that is, it stimulates the breakdown of glycogen into glucose. So please do make a note out here, it should be glycogen into glucose, not glucose into glycogen, it should be glycogen into glucose. And it raises the sugar in the blood whenever there is any vigorous exercise, or you can say whenever your body is in a movement or state of anything where you are doing something which requires glucose in your body, energy is required. So that time, this is all in the normal person, this all happens in a normal person, please remember that. But whenever we talk about a diabetic people, okay, then it happens, the diabetic condition is going to arise only when there is less production of insulin. That means if there is less production of insulin, therefore it cannot check the rise in sugar level, and their rise will be there, so which will lead to excretion of urine with your sugar content over there also. Thirsty, losing weight, those are symptoms of diabetes. But if you give overdose of insulin when people go for treatment, okay, those diabetic people, when they go for treatment of your insulin, okay, then what happens is that when they're injected or they're given this insulin, if there's a little bit of also overdose, then it leads to fall of sugar level in your blood. Okay, it controls too much, so sugar level rapidly falls, and your brain may enter into a state of coma. Okay, and therefore the condition where there is a rapid decrease in the sugar level in your blood is called your hypoglycemia. Okay, that is your under secretion. So if insulin is not produced in your body, let's say it's a normal human being is there, so insulin is produced, so you know what is the function. Now if there is more insulin production, so it's leading to your some other conditions. Where there is less insulin production, that's leading to something else only. So whenever we say about diabetes, there is very less production of insulin, and if they're talking about a condition when there is more production of insulin, then there will be less sugar level in the blood. So I hope you will be able to correlate among the diabetic people and the normal people when you are looking for your hypo or hypersecretion. And even for glucagon, the function is given out here on the screen itself, which just tells you about the function in a normal person, that is breakdown of glycogen into glucose, and it raises the blood, raises the sugar in the blood. So I hope you have enjoyed this class, and so I would meet you soon with the next recording of mine. That's it.